Bang bang Niner game. Bang bang Niner game. Let's go. Hello, folks. Welcome to episode 29 of season 2 of the GOAT series on Jeremy Hadler's YouTube channel. I'm your host, Jeremy Hadler, and today I'm going to be talking about the greatest 49ers player of all time franchise history. Bang bang Niner game. Bang bang Niner game to you Niner fans. Let me go over the rules here like I always do, which is choosing 5 candidates of who I think is the greatest 49ers player in franchise history up to this point. I will also be doing an honorable mention, of course. And at the end of the video, I will choose my ultimate 49ers GOAT. And at the end of the video, I choose my ultimate 49ers GOAT. So let's start off our honorable mention. My honorable mention that I have for today, I thought of a guy that's very underrated, doesn't get much appreciation that many fans would know today, and that is Brian Young. Brian Young played 14 seasons for the 49ers. He's a one-time Super Bowl champion, one-time comeback player, 2 first-team All-Pro, 2 second-team All-Pro, 4-time Pro Bowler, and he's a Hall of Famer. Stats here for you guys. He had 20 pass defended, 12 forced fumbles, 89.5 sacks, 627 combined tackles, 93 tackles for a loss, and 22 QB hits, ladies and gentlemen. And what stands out to me about Brian Young is his achievements that he got the 2 first-team All-Pro, but he was a pass rusher in a great pass rush era with Reggie White and Bruce Smith at the time. So Brian Young has to get appreciation out here. I do like his leadership. I liked how his style of the game played, whether he's going around guys or he's trying to bulldoze a lot of players, where usually I use that term for offensive line, but Brian Young uses that a lot. But Brian Young, I think, has to get appreciation out here. He's very athletic too here, folks, so I have to get appreciation to him here. First candidate off the board for me is Jimmy Johnson. No, not the Dallas Cowboys head coach a long time ago or the NASCAR driver Jimmy Johnson. No. The 49er player, guys. He played 16 seasons with the 49ers. Longevity, that's the Frank Gore term, which Frank Gore played for this team, but he's not on this list here, just to give you a heads up, guys. But this is a Frank Gore we're talking about, is the 16 seasons here. He's a Hall of Famer, 4 first-team All-Pros, 4 second-team All-Pros, 5-time Pro Bowler, made the NFL Hall of Fame, as I mentioned before, made the 49ers Hall of Fame. Guys, number retired by the 49ers, number 37. His stats here, folks, 47 interceptions. That's still pretty crazy. I mean, I know it was a lot easier to get interceptions back in the day, but that's still pretty crazy stat. There 47 interceptions. He had 1 safety, 6 touchdowns. He got pick sixes and fumble recoveries combined, and 7 fumble recoveries. What stands out to me about Jimmy Johnson is his exceptional cover skills. So when you think of Darrelle Reeves, like we talked about in Jets episode this last time, he was Darrelle Reeves early of he had great pass coverage, knock down the ball, swat it out of the hand, not let his receiver get the ball at all. He was very good shutdown corner, very versatile too. So if you want to put him into the run defense or you want to play him in the nickel or the outside or the 1-2 here, he's very good. He was very versatile, and he was pretty much, in my opinion, the Darrelle Reeves before Darrelle Reeves even occurred by shutting down the best receivers back in the day here, folks. So that stands out about him. Also pretty good tackler, which is rare for cornerbacks to do. So better tackle than Deion Sanders. We can give him that position. But other things that stands out to me, again, the durability and longevity, the Frank Gore, he powered through those difficult injuries he had through some seasons and still played 16 seasons with the 49ers to have a longevity career. So that was pretty awesome. And he's very athletic too, folks. So Jimmy Johnson has to be put here on this list here for me, folks. Next player on the list, this player you should know, NFL fans, you should really know, and that is Joe Montana. Joe Cool, the comeback kid, the nicknames. Joe Cool, now it's Joe Burrow's nickname, but it's always going to be Joe Montana to me. Played 13 seasons for the 49ers, 4-time Super Bowl champion, 3-time Super Bowl MVP, 2-time NFL MVP, 1-time Offensive Player of the Year, 1-time comeback Player of the Year. So he won the award, but shared it with another person. 3 first-team All-Pro, 2 second-team All-Pro, 8-time Pro Bowler, 2-time passing TDs and passer rating leader. That's pretty good. 5-time completion percentage leader. Made the Niners Hall of Fame. He's in the Hall of Fame, of course, ladies and gentlemen, for the NFL as well. You guys are retired by the 49ers, number 16. His stats here, ladies and gentlemen, 63.7 completion percentage, 35,124 passing yards, 244 passing TDs, 123 interceptions, 93.5 pass rate. What stands out to me about Joe Montana is his calm demeanor. When the pressure's on him and he needs that game-winning drive, always calm and cool and always got the job done. That's what stands out to me about Joe Montana. He always delivered high-pressure moments, and he was the GOAT. He was the greatest quarterback of all time before Tom Brady came in. And that was even including some of Tom Brady's season. As soon as Brady won that Super Bowl against the Falcons of that comeback, that's when the debate started getting up. But for so many years for the debate of the GOAT, it was Joe Montana. Joe Montana had the rings, he had the stats, he had everything. He was the GOAT. Now Tom Brady took that over, as I discussed it in my quarterback GOAT episode, but stands out to me is Joe Montana's calm demeanor once again and his leadership. And he was very good passer. He had very good precision passing, as I mentioned about the 5-time completion percentage, very accurate too and right on the ball. So Joe Montana has to get included on this list here. Next player for me is Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice played 20 seasons for the 49ers, 3-time Super Bowl champion, 1-time Super Bowl MVP, 2-time offensive player, 10 first-team All-Pros. That is ridiculous. Half the seasons he played in the NFL were all first-team All-Pros. That's ridiculous. 1-time second-team All-Pro, 12-time Pro Bowler, 6-time receiving yards leader, 2-time receptions leader, 6-time TDs leader, 1-time NFL scoring leader, made the Niners Hall of Fame. Of course, he's in NFL Hall of Fame. Got retired by the 49ers with his number 80. His stats here later showing 176 receiving TDs, 1,281 receptions for 19,247 receiving yards. He has the most career receptions, 1,549. He has the most career receiving yards, 22,895. He has the most career receiving TDs, 197. Has the most career total TDs, 208. Most career all-purpose yards, 23,546. First player to lead in all these categories. He played with 2 quarterbacks, Joe Montana and another guy that we're going to mention here in a bit. And what stands out about Jerry is his competitiveness. He always was very competitive about it. I remember hearing the one story where he won the Super Bowl, and the next day he went to go right back to the 49ers practice facility and went to go practice the whole day. And when they lost the Cowboys back in the 90s, when he kept losing to them, and they were trying to beat the Cowboys eventually, Jerry would literally talk so much smack at Michael Irvin and would go to the practice field every single day to get better and better. He was very competitive with stands on me, but he was very strong too. A player, he would snatch the ball out of the CB's hands when he's trying to go for the touchdown and just get it. He was very good hard worker, very good at having great hands. That's what also stands out to me. And he was just a unique player, great strong leader, helped the 49ers locker room. You can't make this stuff up. His stats and everything he achieved is ridiculous. Like almost no one can achieve this to this day, honestly, in my opinion, unless you're with Patrick Mahomes or your quarterback. That's the only shot, in my opinion, because what he did on that field was ridiculous and always is one of my favorite players to watch of like the highlight tape and one of the players like just to among the greats, one of my favorite players here. But Jerry Rice definitely has to get put on this list. Joe Montana and him, great, phenomenal duo. They're a phenomenal duo. Next player on the list is Ronnie Lott. Yes, going on the defensive side, Ronnie Lott played 10 seasons for the 49ers. He's a Hall of Famer. 4-time Super Bowl champion, 7 first-team All-Pro. Ridiculous once again, 7 first-team All-Pro. 9-time Pro Bowler, 1-time interceptions leader, 1-time forced fumbles leader, 1-time tackles co-leader, made the Niners Hall of Fame. Guys now retired, of course. His stats here, folks. 51 interceptions, 5 pick sixes, ridiculous. 8 forced fumbles, 12 fumble recoveries, 5.5 sacks. I mean, you're not going to do much to safety. 721 combined tackles. What stands out to me about Ronnie Lott, and I talked about this in season 1 about Ronnie Lott being among the great and could arguably consider the greatest safety of all time, was his ball hawking skills of like those 51 interceptions we just talked about. Great tackling, and he was very versatile too. So if you want to put him in different positions, like I mentioned with other guys too, like with Jimmy Johnson or Brian Young, he was phenomenal in that and excelled. And he was like the foundational leader on that defense. He was the main reason why that defense succeeded so much was because of him. So that's the stand out to me. He had a great football IQ, which really made it stand out to make him a game changer in the game and very tough and aggressive every time he make those hard-hitting tackles. Before Ed Reed and Ray Lewis and Brian Dawkins came in and Troy Polamalu came into the league, Ronnie Lott was the hardest hitter in the league, and that's what stands out to me. He was very aggressive, and he was determined to go on the field and win the game for the Niners. Amazing player, has to get put on this list, no doubt about that. Last player here before we get to my ultimate 49ers GOAT is Steve Young. Now, Steve Young is the other quarterback that I mentioned before that was thrown to Jerry Rice, as Jerry Rice had Joe Montana and Steve Young. Steve Young played 13 seasons for the 49ers. He's a Hall of Famer, 3-time Super Bowl champion, 1-time Super Bowl MVP, 2-time MVP, 1-time Offensive Player of the Year, 3-time First-Team All-Pro, 3 Second-Team All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler, 4-time Passing TDs leader, 6-time Passing Rating leader, 5-time Completion Percentage leader. Stats here, folks. He had 65.8 completion percentage, 29,907 passing yards, 221 passing TDs, 86 interceptions, and 101.4 passer rating, folks. That is outstanding to me of what he achieved there right away, folks. Now, the interesting story with Steve Young is he was not a great quarterback before coming to the 49ers. He was part of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that was one of the worst teams ever of all time that he was a part of. And then once he got to the 49ers, he sat behind Joe Montana. He excelled there because most fans will know of like when you sit a quarterback for like 3 years and then they succeed, like Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, is the Packers. But that concept started with the 49ers with Steve Young and Joe Montana. Now, Steve Young sat behind Joe Montana, and Steve Young excelled at his position, not better than Joe Montana, but was still successful in his position by getting those stats. And what made it outstanding with him is he had incredible athleticism, he had pinpoint accuracy, and he was a dual threat. He was the left arm. He was the left arm because Joe Montana threw right arm. So Young and Rice had to work together all off season to get that perfection because Jerry didn't know that Young threw the other way when he's so used to Montana throwing right-handed. He didn't know Young was left-handed. So it was pretty phenomenal to see that. He's very powerful and he was very accurate too, like I mentioned with the stats. Always would find plays downfield. Like he reminds me of a lot of a pre-Aaron Rodgers of where he just extends the plays with his legs and he rolls out the pocket, throws it down the field, and boom. That is outstanding to me. He was a credible leader too. And he would often take those like potential sacks and like get out of his like legs and boom, throw it down the field. So that was pretty awesome to do. And he definitely has to get appreciation here, in my opinion, has to. And now we get to my ultimate go here for the 49ers. This was very tough because the 49ers are a very well-known franchise and they had a lot of success and had a great dynasty back in the day before the Patriots and the Chiefs. This one's very tough for me. It comes down to a couple players for me. Ronnie Lott has to definitely get up there. Jerry Rice, heck, Joe Montana, Steve Young, of course. Jimmy Johnson. Fortunately, I'm not going to put you up there, even though I love the stats. It's very hard to do. I'm going to have to eliminate Steve Young here because I think Joe Montana outdo him. So I think Joe Montana's the better quarterback. Now, you could arguably say with Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, and Ronnie Lott are the greatest players at their positions of all time. Arguably, you could say that. Ronnie Lott, I really love like his defense. The 7 first team All-Pro is ridiculous. And he had 51 interceptions. That's pretty ridiculous. But when I think of the 49ers, I always think of Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. Those are the two guys that stand out to me. And forever, Joe Montana was very well known as the GOAT. He's very well known as the quarterback GOAT. But to me, the person that I believe that is the greatest player in 49ers franchise history is the GOAT, and arguably the greatest player in NFL history is Jerry Rice. I mean, when Jerry Rice gets the 10 first team All-Pros in 20 seasons, that's pretty ridiculous to have. Plus, he was a 12-time Pro Bowler with them, and he was a one-time NFL scoring leader. That's pretty rare to do. Now, back in the day, yes, it was way easier, but in his timeline, like it was unheard of. Usually that's kickers or running backs. That's what like the scoring leader was. Jerry Rice being a one-time scoring leader is outstanding to me. And the fact that he was the first player to lead all categories of most career total TDs, all-purpose yards, receiving TDs, receiving yards, and receptions is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. And definitely the most accomplished player. And he's always the 49er that sticks out to me. So to me, Jerry Rice is my 49er GOAT here, ladies and gentlemen. But let me know what you think of the chat here. Do you think Jerry Rice is the GOAT? Do you think it's Joe Montana, Ronnie Lott, Steve Young, somebody else on this list, or somebody I didn't even mention in honorable mention or on this list? Let me know in the chat. We'll appreciate to hear your thoughts on this, guys. And that'll do it here for another episode of the GOAT series. We're wrapping up very soon as we head to the Buffalo Bills the next episode. And then we get started with the big dynasties here, folks. So that's a wrap for this video, folks. Have a great day. And draft season is right around the corner here, folks. So stay tuned for that. I will be live streaming the first round of the draft.